My path to Gov 2.0 was basically 5 years ago. I worked on, I was a legislative liaison for the ACLU and EFF in Austin, Texas. And I was lobbying, I became their person to talk to Republicans on technology issues. And found that they were really, really hurting. A lot. And so I basically sat down and did things. I've been designing large content management systems and e-commerce websites on the internet since its inception, the web since its inception. And so I decided to take this same kind of systematic process and went in and interviewed all the legislators and did a survey and started creating this basic architecture for what I thought transparent government should look like. And was kind of a little bit crazy about doing all of that, and then proposed it before Senator Bill Bradley. And he loved it, but he's like, it's too big, they're not going to understand it. So he refocused it on the transparent federal budget. And so I guess a lot of my Gov 2.0 or transparent government stuff started then in 2004. But I don't think it was called that then. We were just calling it transparent government, and the people that I could find to talk to about it were kind of few and far in between. And so that's basically how I got there, was looking, working within the system and seeing a real need for good software. I think the area of government that can have the most improvement or the most effect with Web 2.0 tools is going to be state and local governments, state and city. Simply because of when it comes to things like financial impact, you've got the federal legislating things in really large numbers, like $980 million to the Department of Agriculture. But until you boil it down onto the nitty-gritty portions, like $30 million to the state of Texas, and seeing where the state of Texas actually spends its money, then you'll get to some real impact. So I'm kind of more in the state and city realm. I believe the killer app that will make Government 2.0 the norm instead of the exception is citability.org, citability.org. Basically, one reason I believe that is because the whole point of citability is to take everything down to a paragraph level. By going to a paragraph level, you start to create these little atomistic building blocks where you can take things and make it issue-based. And so once you can make everything in government issue-based, and you can spread it all over the internet, because once you have that uniquely identifying URL for each piece of data, I can go on my blog and go talk about that one paragraph I didn't like in the bill. And I can sit there and link to it. And now anyone can sit there who's researching that bill can find it by either the topic that I mentioned, or they can find it on the actual bill and legislation, and it creates this beautiful link that kind of opens government up all over the world. It's completely internationalizable. I would like to see extemporaneous communities blossoming all over the internet and in person. One reason that I really like a lot of social media like Twitter and Facebook and things of that nature is because it helps me meet people in real life, where I can sit there and we can chat and we can kind of get to know each other, so I know that they're not like creepy crazy. And then I can go and actually meet with them. And I can like fly into DC, and a whole bunch of people who are following me on Twitter go, oh my God, you're in DC. Let's get together and facilitate that sort of thing, so that, that's how I think the real change is going to happen in government, is creating the different tools that facilitate the community interaction. I have to admit, I'm kind of horrified right now by what's going on with the healthcare town hall debates, where people are going and doing the exact opposite of that type of facilitation, where you end up having physical blows for that. I think that's using it for evil. But I'm hoping that with different electronic barriers, we can actually get past that sort of thing. It becomes a lot harder to be angry at someone when you know that, they're best friends with your sister-in-law.